Do I regret quitting my cybersecurity job? Is it even worth it to break into cybersecurity anymore when AI is going to replace us? Are any of the courses that you recommend actually helpful? You guys asked some really good questions. Okay, so I asked you guys to submit all of your juiciest cybersecurity career questions over on Instagram, and I'm going to be answering them in today's video. Just a bit of background, I worked in cybersecurity for 5 years, blue team, red team, GRC, basically covered the gamut. Okay, so with that, let's jump into the questions. There are a lot of questions to get through. All right, first question, be honest, is AI going to replace us, and is there even a point to break into cybersecurity? Honestly, this was one of the most asked questions I got. So here's the thing. Yes, we'll definitely replace parts of your job as a cybersecurity analyst. Yes, this can also mean that cybersecurity teams will get smaller, but it doesn't mean that cybersecurity jobs are going away. Obviously, AI has only been here for the past 3-4 years now, and it is definitely advancing very quickly. In fact, there's even AI ethical hackers now. I don't know if you guys have seen the news about how currently the #1 ethical hacker is actually an AI created by a company. There's still a team of cybersecurity experts and researchers that are behind this ethical hacking AI. But personally, I'm not surprised by this. If you think back 20-30 years ago, the jobs that we have today, a lot of them didn't even exist yet. I think the same goes for 20-30 years from now, where sure, security analysts today might still be relevant, but in 10-15 years, there may be a different version of this job that requires a new skill set, requires different certifications, requires different tools and technologies. And I do think that this process is normal because as part of your career, you're always going to be continuing to upskill, continue to learn new things. So I don't think there's any reason to just be paralyzed by the fear that AI is going to replace all of us. This is going to take all of our jobs. It's definitely going to replace the boring, repetitive parts of your jobs, which we probably didn't want to do anyway. But personally, I'm still in the boat that you can never 100% replace a human when it comes to creativity, when it comes to critical thinking. Obviously, maybe one day, 10 years from now, I could be proved wrong. And that is not a question that any of us honestly can answer right now, at least, unless we're the head of OpenAI or something. But that is my personal answer. Yes, if you want to be in cybersecurity and you're willing to put in the time and the effort it takes to get into cybersecurity, because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that it's a walk in the park, but obviously anything good has to come with a lot of hard work and dedication. So hopefully that answers that question once and for all. Okay, answer that really slowly, so I'm gonna try to go faster. Do you need to learn how to code for cybersecurity? The short answer is no, especially if you're going into blue team or GRC. But if you're going into red team or ethical hacking, it is very helpful to know coding because a lot of malware and different exploits will require you to have some coding skills, honestly pretty advanced coding skills. That is why a lot of previous software engineers who want to break into cybersecurity, they typically go into security research or ethical hacking because you do need coding skills for that. But personally, if you're just starting out, I would recommend specifically starting with JavaScript since that'll be really relevant for most ethical hacking jobs that you go into, especially if you're hacking into web applications. What to choose, certifications or degree? Okay, it's very interesting that now people are asking me certifications versus degrees and not bootcamps versus degrees. So you can see that this is a very different world nowadays. I think we've definitely gone past the peak of bootcamps. So if anyone's considering cybersecurity bootcamps right now, given the competitive job market, personally, I would go for a degree or get some really good certifications on your resume to start applying for jobs. Because yes, while bootcamps can still get you technical skills and experience very quickly, that is cheaper than a degree. Nowadays, because it's an employer's hiring market, that means that employers just have more options when it comes to candidates that they're screening for. So they could be even more picky with the candidates that they want. And that's why I've seen an increase of job listings that are requiring degrees, sometimes even master's and PhD for a pretty mid-level role. So personally, I think your best bet would be to get a degree and certifications on your resume. When I was applying to cybersecurity jobs, that is the combination that I had. And it just gives the hiring manager or the recruiter, after they look at your resume, a reason to call you back because you have XYZ credential that covers their requirement. Now, another recommendation I have for those of you who are trying to break into cybersecurity is to first start your career in IT. So IT jobs typically have less experience requirements. They're more entry level, and there's honestly just more of them compared to entry level cybersecurity jobs. So a lot of people will start in IT and then pivot into cybersecurity once they've worked for a year or two. So this is another great way to start your career and at least open up your options a bit more. I do have a technical IT course that I recommend for beginners that'll help you get from zero experience to actually hired. And I've also interviewed a graduate from this IT certification course that was able to find a job in IT after just 4 weeks completing the certification. So I do highly recommend this. And I'll have the course careers IT course linked in my description. Do you regret quitting your cybersecurity job? Just to give a little bit of context, when I quit my cybersecurity job, AI, first of all, was not as big as it is now, and it's nowhere near as advanced. And I also was working basically 80 to 100 hour weeks with my full-time job, 40 hours a week, and YouTube taking 40 to 60 hours a week. I was basically burnt out. In fact, I had probably already been burnt out for a year up to that point. I decided to basically pick one, and the one that I went for, obviously, is this cybersecurity community. And yes, I do have fears of, this gap on my resume that I have, especially when I do eventually go back to the workforce, which I do expect to at some point, maybe even in the near future. Again, given the competitive job market, I've seen people with 10 years of experience who are unable to get early career jobs. That I do think is very alarming. So I wouldn't necessarily say I regret quitting my cybersecurity analyst job because I was able to grow this community. I was able to help more of you guys break into cybersecurity. I still get messages on a weekly basis of someone who's gotten a job, someone who's interviewing, someone in their final round, someone who passed their certification or got a degree. So this is a very rewarding job. Even though not everyone might call this a job, but personally, I feel like I am where I'm supposed to be and doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm very passionate about teaching. I'm very passionate about mentorship. Yeah, I would love to do this as long as I can, but I know that's obviously not that realistic in terms of finances and things like that. So eventually I will go back to the workforce and do the whole long interview spiel that I've heard of from my friends and coworkers who may have recently gotten laid off or are currently in the job market. So no, I don't regret it, but I do think that the circumstances have changed since I made that decision to quit. I mean, obviously looking back, I can say that easily, but still I'm deciding to stay positive about it. What are the best free cybersecurity courses? Okay, I've made a lot of videos on this, but Coursera has a lot of different free cybersecurity courses, not the free trial, not the things that you had to pay for. They actually have free cybersecurity courses. I'll link it down in my description. I have a lot of videos covering free cybersecurity certs, free learning pathways. The Try Hack Me beginner learning pathway is a really good one. It has 500 technical hands-on labs that you can do. This is especially great if you're interested in ethical hacking. There's also the Blue Team Level 1 Junior Analyst Career Path, and that is a free certification that they offer. I'll link all these down below. Let's Defend.io has a lot of free SOC analyst courses. TCM Security also has a lot of free cybersecurity courses. Oh, Over the Wire has really good cybersecurity labs, especially if you want experience using Linux. That's a really good one. They have a lot of war games and CTFs. I would also check out ctftime.org. They have a list of all the upcoming capture the flags. And nowadays, capture the flags aren't just for red teamers or ethical hackers. There's also a lot of blue team and defensive CTFs now. So these are basically cybersecurity challenges where you can capture the flag. It's basically just like a code after you solve various different cybersecurity challenges. And they test your skills in different ways. You might have to use a cybersecurity tool. You might have to do some hashing. You might have to dig into some malware code. So there's a lot of different variations, and you can learn a lot just from doing CTFs. In fact, that's how I got onto my first junior ethical hacking team in my first cybersecurity job, because our company hosted a company-wide CTF. That was my first time ever doing anything like that, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I guess my manager could tell that I was interested in this. That ended up being my next role. But yeah, most CTFs are free, so you can join solo or you can find a team, again, through ctftime.org. So all this is very, very beginner friendly. How much math do you use in cybersecurity, and is it hard to manage at the start? So personally, I have never ever used math in any of my cybersecurity jobs. Maybe if you were, in cryptography, maybe if you were hired for a cybersecurity research role and needed it for a very specific area in cybersecurity, but for the most part, I don't know any cybersecurity analysts, engineers, specialists who use math in any capacity, honestly, in their day-to-day job, which is great for me because I hated calc. But in terms of managing your career at the start, I'm assuming that's what you're asking. I think overall, cybersecurity is obviously very fast-paced. It can be very easy to get burnt out. I know a lot of colleagues of mine that got burnt out throughout my career. I mean, another reason for this is because cybersecurity has on-call hours where you might have to be 24/7 on call for a few days or a week at a time, depending on how big your cybersecurity team is. But usually these go on rotations, and it can get pretty bad, especially if you're dealing with incidents at 4 a.m., if you're getting alerts at 1 a.m. and you have to check them based on a certain SLA or a time frame that's required for you to respond to them, because most cybersecurity teams do have those. Honestly, I will say that sometimes it can feel like an adjustment at first. I don't want to scare anyone away from an entry-level cybersecurity role, but people know that cybersecurity can be a stressful job, and your manager and your teams aren't going to make your life even more stressful knowing that it's already a stressful job. So for the most part, I think the biggest thing is to make sure you're joining a company that cares about your health, at least cares about your mental wellness, and a lot of the stuff that you'll need to have a long career in cybersecurity. And of course, you personally, making sure that you set certain boundaries when you're off call, when you're off work hours, when you don't actually have the responsibility to respond to a certain thing. No need to check your email at 10 p.m. if you don't have to. That is just my biggest takeaway, I guess. How to get your first cybersecurity job. I have a lot of roadmaps on this. Really quickly, degree, certification. Certifications, definitely. I would get at least 1 or 2. The first one, CompTIA Security Plus. The second one, of your choice depending on the niche that you're going into. Maybe the EGBT, maybe the Bootcamp Level 1 certification, maybe the Try Hack Me Sal 1, maybe the Hack the Box Certified Defensive Security Analyst Cert. There's a lot of different certifications depending on the niche you're going into, and all of them have different training paths, different exam structures, and that's where you kind of have to do your own research and decide which certification is best for you. But the Security Plus, I always recommend, even though it's mostly a multiple choice certification exam, it is still the most common early career certification that are going to be on cybersecurity jobs, at least the more entry-level cybersecurity jobs. And then the second certification is the one that you kind of get to play around with and choose depending on the exam structure, the training, but preferably you pick a certification that has a practical hands-on exam, or at least projects and training that you can do that can also give you technical skills, tools, projects that you can get onto your resume when you start applying to jobs. Then I would focus on cybersecurity projects. Number 1, building your own home lab. Number 2, setting up your own SIEM using open source tools. Number 3, setting up your own cloud environment and securing it. These 3 projects are really, really great on your resume, and they hit a lot of keywords that hiring managers are going to be looking for. So it is very helpful. I believe I already have project guides on my channel for this, and I'll share them down below. And then when you're done with those, get all of this on your resume and start applying to jobs on a tech-specific job boards. I wouldn't use monster.com. I wouldn't use, honestly, most of the big job boards. Even LinkedIn jobs can sometimes be iffy for me because companies will list a job and it'll have 500 applicants in the first 10 minutes. It's insane how oversaturated a lot of job boards can get. So personally, I have a list of job boards that I recommend. I'll put it on the screen. But personally, I really like Built-in, WayUp. Y Combinator is specifically for startups. So you have a lot of different options, but these are tech specific, and you won't have the same competition because there's going to be less candidates applying on these portals compared to a job on Indeed, which honestly, I've never heard anything back from Indeed. If anyone has, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. But personally, Indeed has never worked for me. Honestly, any of the big job boards have really not worked for me at all. This is a fun one. What's your favorite anime? Well, thank you for asking. My favorite anime is One Piece. What should the recent grads with no experience do to land their first full-time job? Honestly, this is a really, really hard question because I know a lot of graduates who are having a really, really tough time in the job market. But out of the ones that have actually gotten job offers, almost all of it is through networking, going to conferences, someone they know, a friend of a friend, someone gave them a referral. But right now, given how competitive the job market is, let's say your resume is the top of the top and it's amazing, and you're sending it to a job that you know you're qualified for. But given all the layoffs, imagine if someone with 10, 15 years of experience gets laid off and they just want to find a job right away. They're applying to that same job, even if it's down leveling their title, even if it's a lower salary, because the job market is just tougher. Even if your resume is really spectacular, if you're in your early career, it's going to be really hard for you to compete with someone who has 10, 15 years of experience applying to that same job. And that's basically what's happening right now. And that is why it's so hard for new grads, because you guys don't have experience on your resume, or maybe you have internships, but it just can't compare to someone with 10 years of experience, and that's the hard part. But the biggest way to help yourself right now is to use your connections, use your network, use your referrals, use any opportunity that you can to go out and go to B-sides, go to tech conferences. A lot of tech conferences have career fairs, and they also have scholarships that you can apply for so that you get to attend and actually talk face-to-face with a real recruiter. And that is also how I got my first cybersecurity job. It was from a tech conference, and honestly, I don't think I would have gotten that job if I didn't go to that conference because my resume was not the best, especially for a cybersecurity role, considering my background was mostly in software engineering. So I definitely wouldn't have gotten the job if I didn't go to that conference. But right now, if you're a new grad looking for a job, I would be really shameless with getting your resume out there, connecting with people on LinkedIn, sending messages to people, making introductions, asking for mentorship, and can really help set you apart compared to the candidate who might just be applying to 50 jobs a day and may not be hearing back because there's just so many candidates applying to the same job listings. After the Google Cybersecurity Certification, what should I do next? Personally, I would get your Security Plus. The Google Cybersecurity Cert already prepares you for the Security Plus, and you also get a discount when you complete it. So honestly, it's a win-win. Just having both of those on your resume is already going to be really good in helping you stand out. And I do think that the Google Cybersecurity Certification is a really great beginner level certification for anyone who has no experience in cybersecurity and wants to learn the foundations. And of course, prepare you for your Security Plus certification with a discount. So that should be your next step. And I'll also link the Google Cybersecurity Cert below for anyone who might also be interested in checking it out. It's a great beginner certification to start with. And planning to take the CEH exam, is it worth it for starting a cybersecurity career? I'm not the biggest fan of the CEH certification because it is an ethical hacking certification that basically doesn't test any ethical hacking skills at all. It's primarily multiple choice, and the exam really hasn't been updated to keep up with the times. And the newer exams from Try Hack Me, Hack the Box, Let's Defend, all these are a lot more advanced. Even OffSec now has more early career ethical hacking certifications that are hands-on, where you can actually test your skills and get a credible certification on your resume for employers to see. But of course, the CEH is also an older certification, so more recruiters might know about it, more hiring managers have heard of it, and they might still list that on their cybersecurity job listings. So if you're doing it just for the credential, sure. Again, it is also very expensive and it's a lot more pricier than other ethical hacking certifications that I've seen on the market. So personally, while I wouldn't recommend it, I do know the reasons why people are still taking this exam and getting the certification, but at the end of the day, it's all up to you. Okay, so obviously I can't answer every single question because there are so many, but I think I got majority of them, like the gist of them, all summarized in this video. So hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. It has been basically 6 years on this channel, creating cybersecurity content, helping you guys start your tech careers, and it's honestly been really nice. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. Don't forget to stay connected on LinkedIn, Discord, Instagram, everything also all linked in my description. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.